Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with, some might say, the man of the hour. A little graphic up of you for the last 4 fights. You're doing well, Ben Davison, but before we talk about the big fight tonight, I do want to go back to last week with Leigh Wood. I mean, from winning the British Championship in February to then becoming world champion. Just talk to me about that sort of achievement that Leigh's fulfilled.
Yeah, obviously Leigh previously failed at an attempt for the British title very, very early on in his career, only his 11th fight, which almost haunted him, to be honest, because it was a goal of his since 11 years old. So, you know, it was his first fight with us for the British title, and it was a tough fight. Reece Mould, I said before the fight, and I still say after the fight, that Reece Mould is above British level. Was probably more confident for the Kanzu fight than he was the Reece Mould fight, to be honest, because Reece is a dangerous opponent. And stylistically, it was potentially a tough fight for Leigh. So, getting the victory with Leigh there was, that was very satisfying to see Leigh finally achieve that goal that he'd previously failed to win. Then obviously this opportunity popped up for the world title. And stylistically, we knew that it was a fight that Leigh could certainly win and win in good fashion. And I think in the fight camp bubble there was a few people pulling a few strange faces when they realised that we was there to win and really to believe that Leigh could do so. And he went out there. We said before, I was speaking to Coogan, said before that myself and Leigh and Barry have never been so confident in a fight and knowing exactly what they need to do. He was as well prepared as anybody we've ever prepared, and I think that showed on the night.
Were you surprised by the stoppage then? Do you think Leigh could have stopped somebody like Kanzu? Because we all know that Kanzu throws 100 punches around and all this sort of stuff, but the way that Leigh nullified that, the way that Leigh piled the pressure on him, and you said that Leigh's the hardest hitter that you've ever felt in the pads and stuff like that, so was the stoppage as a surprise to you, or did you think that could happen in that fight? Yeah,
I certainly believed he would stop him. I told a few people that wanted to put a few bets on it, asked me my opinion. I said I think that Leigh will win by knockout. Left it to the last minute, but Kanzu was extremely tough, so resilient, and a hell of a lot of respect for him because people that was there would have been able to hear the shots. And anybody that knows Leigh knows how hard, or shed the ring with him, knows how hard he can punch. So, Kanzu has not world level resilience and toughness, he has elite level resilience and toughness. And he certainly surprised me with that, but I did believe that Leigh certainly had the potential to get a knockout in that fight.
Well, that old saying, there's no rest for the wicked. You're back out again a week later. After that fight here in Belfast for Leigh McGregor, he defends his European title against a fighter a lot of people might not know about, but Vincent Legrand does have 3 times as many fights as Leigh. He has more knockouts on his record than Leigh's had fights. He's a lot older than Leigh. He knows his way around the ring. He's a southpaw as well, so he brings that element of that little bit of danger that a lot of people might think that Leigh's going to walk through him, but he is a dangerous opponent, and you're not looking past him for Leigh, are you?
No, of course, and he's boxed in the WSB. He's won the European title twice before, I think it might have been. Like you said, he's a southpaw, but he's a tall southpaw as well. So all of those things put together, he will pose his problems. So it's important that Leigh goes about the fight in the right way, and we're confident that he will do.
How confident? I know people bang on about stoppages, but a lot of coaches just like, we want the win, don't care if he stops it and stuff like that. But Leigh seems to be on this little role that you're saying that Leigh was the pound for pound, but he seems to be whacking quite hard for his size at that bantamweight division. He seems to be punching quite heavy.
Yeah, but punching hard ain't what gets you the stoppages. Like Leigh Wood's always, he's not all of a sudden. Don't get me wrong, his punching mechanics and shot selection and all these kind of things have improved, but which will improve his power. But Leigh Wood's a natural puncher. He would have always been able to punch hard. Maybe punching that bit harder now because of certain things and adjustments, but he's always been able to punch hard. Punching hard does not get you the stoppages alone. It's setting them up and going about it the right way, dismantling folks, being unpredictable with your shots and not being
telegraphing them, sort of.
Just being smart and intelligent about it. That's what will get you the stoppages as you go up in levels. Do I believe Leigh can stop Vincent Legrand? Of course I do. Do I expect him to? Yes, I do. Are we going to force it? Certainly not. Because that's how exactly what a tall southpaw is going to want you to do, is force things, fall into traps and make mistakes. So, yeah, it's how Leigh goes about the job. Like I said, he needs to go about it in the right way. He needs to respect the level of the opponent, and the type of the opponent, and his skill set, and what he brings to the table. But that's what preparation's for. Like, we're on the day of the fight now, so Leigh knows what he needs to do. It's just a case of getting in there and doing it.
Have you noticed a change in Leigh's sort of demeanour and attitude and professionalism and stuff like that? Because I've noticed it. I've noticed that the way he's talking now and the way he's approaching the professional game, that he's hungry. He's sort of almost matured and realised that this is a short career. He needs to maximise everything and get out with his health intact. I feel like he's matured, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but when I look at him and I see him with you and the way he was in Vegas and the way he was talking with Dan Lawrence and Leigh and stuff like that, and the way he watches the videos with you, he seems to be fully 100% focused on his, not just this fight, but his whole career. Have you noticed that as well with Leigh? Yeah,
of course. It's part of growing, and it's part of life maturing. It's developing, and that's what myself and the team are here to do, is help develop fighters. That's inside and outside the ring, and so it's good that you can see things like that in Leigh McGregor.
Like I mentioned at the start of this interview, you are the man of the hour. I know you're quite a humble guy on camera. Off camera, you're a prick. Yeah, off camera, you're a prick. But humble guy. No, but you are sort of like, you're on a little roll when people are starting to take notice and give you the respect you sort of. I don't know if people didn't give you respect beforehand, but this sort of graphic that MTK put up was Leigh Wood, British champion, and then Josh Taylor undisputed, and Leigh McGregor, European champion and stuff like that. So, excuse me, you are taking on these fighters and you're maximising what they're doing, their achievements and stuff like that. And a lot of people at the beginning, when you had Tyson Fury, were saying box-size Ben, PT Ben. It seems like you've sort of embraced that a little bit now, and it doesn't. It's like water for ducks back for you. Have you embraced that sort of tag, that box-size Ben and PT Ben tag?
It just, I don't embrace it. I don't not like it. I don't like it. There's no feelings towards it. It's sort of, it is what it is. It's just a case of, it just, people will always look for something to complain about or moan about. Some people will like you, some people will not like you. That's completely natural. That's completely up to them. Nothing against them. Most people are not going to know me, only what they see. So their opinion is mostly on a perception as opposed to actually knowing me. So it doesn't really, it's neither here nor there, is it? But that's our job, you know. We're supposed to develop fighters, and I believe that we do a good job of that.
Well, I think you're doing an outstanding job in terms of people don't know, only see your perception. I know you, and I've spent a lot of time in Vegas and stuff like that, and I think you're a cool guy. The hairline and all that pisses me off because I don't have it. But other than that, I think you're a sound guy. You're very, very humble. You're a gentleman as well, and I don't think you let me pay for when you took me to that Italian restaurant. I think you paid and all that sort of stuff. So you're sound to me.
Do you know what it is? It's just a case of, like, sometimes I'll put something back, like Josh put something, and I'll put something back about the fella doing the exercise class and that, like that, because it winds the people up that realistically, if you're the type of person to get wound up like and not like me for whatever reason, or the perception of me for whatever reason, like if you've really got the time and energy to waste on getting pissed off over a silly gif that I put up on a tweet, like your worries are far further beyond than that. So just, I put it up just to wind them up a little bit more sometimes. But it's neither here nor there.
Definitely. Well, Josh Taylor's in the hotel the last 2 days. He arrived yesterday. What's the news on Josh? I've seen that he was down there. He's back training, doing a little bit of running. I've seen on his Instagram and stuff like that. But he has hurt his hand a little bit. How's that injury looking? And when do you expect Josh to come back down to Essex?
Yeah, I think he's going through some rehab in a minute. He seems to be healing well. So hoping that carries on going. Don't want to rush it back. There's talk of late this year, maybe the early part of next year. So just hoping everything stays on track with that. He done a little bit of punching the other day. Seemed to be all right. So he's just still undergoing rehab, breaking himself back into a bit of training. So just hoping everything runs smooth with the hand coming back.
The undisputed champ seems to have a lot of options. Gervonta Davis, there's Terence Crawford, obviously he's mandatory with Jack Catterall. He's got a lot of options. What input do you have on what's next for Josh, if any?
Yeah, obviously MTK, myself, Josh, we'll all discuss what we think and that. I mean, like you say, there's lots of options. I know that Josh, whether it be Josh give Jack that fight or Jack fight.